Welcome to another episode of Life and Whiskey. As always, I'm Jordan, and today we are going to look at McClelland's Lowland Scotch. Now, interesting company or brand. They are, let me bring this up quick. They are owned by Beam Suntory, and they do expressions of every region of Scotland when it comes to the whiskey scene. So I have tried their Highland, their Isla, and their Lowland, and I'm trying to find their Speyside. Now, big fan of all of them. Good, cheap whiskey, cheap in price, not in flavor profile. It is young, but it is definitely a good whiskey. If you're an Isla fan, if you want a good everyday drinker and not breaking the bank, their Isla here locally I can find for $27.83. I mean, super cheap, but really good for that price. The Highland here locally I can find for $29.99. This Lowland I picked up at Total Wines in Milwaukee, Wisconsin for $17.99. For those of you who have a Total Wines near you, so envious because I'm just not that lucky. Between the selection and the price, you guys are doing really good for yourselves. But kind of wish I had done this one before the last one. I just got done reviewing the Talisker Storm. I had to get a new glass because the smoke in that glass is just overwhelming it. So in order to actually give a fair shake to the whiskey here, I had to get a new glass. Let's see, what else do I want to say? Oh, coming off of Dry Week for Whiskey Tribe. So today is June 18th as I record this. Dry Week ended at noon today, and so kind of reset your palate, kind of keep yourself in check a little bit, do a little evaluation, see if you're starting to form any bad habits or have any problems. But, not drinking whiskey for a week really resets your palate and allows you to pick out a lot of more nuanced flavors and characteristics of whiskeys. So if you're drinking every day or every other day or something, try. I encourage you to try a dry week at some time. If you want, join in with the Whiskey Tribe. They do it once a quarter. But abstain from whiskey for a couple of days, a week, whatever, and you'll really be able to pick out a lot more nuance in a whiskey when you come back to it. So give that a try. Let me know what you think in the comments down below. Anyways, McClelland's Lowland Scotch. As I said, $17.99. Funny story, when I was walking through the aisle, I saw the Isla McClelland's, and man, I grabbed like 2 or 3 bottles because it was $17.99. I was like, holy crap. And it is one of my wife and my favorite whiskeys as an everyday drinker kind of thing. We're really into the Isla scene right now. And, here locally, what did I say I can get it for? $27.83, so it's $10 cheaper, and now I'm kind of regretting that I didn't keep them in the cart. I put them all back, saw this one, I was like, oh well, I can't get this or I haven't seen it locally, so I grabbed this instead. And I kind of wish I had done this before the last one, which was the Talisker Storm. Still got a little bit of peatiness in my mouth. Let me give one more swig of water here. See if we can get that out of there a little bit, so that we can do this justice. But as far as the Lowland Scotch for $18, let's see what we get. Single malt, I do believe. Clean, citrusy dram. It's the perfect start to perfect starting point on the single malt journey, is what they say. Yeah. So here they say along with the Lowland description on the bottle, here on the back, they got the Isle of the Speyside and the Highland description on the side. Now, as far as the nose goes, it's not jumping out of the glass. 40% ABV, so it is only 80 proof whiskey, which, hey, for $18, the fact that it's a single malt should, that right there is worth every cent. And, you know, to be Scotch legally, to come off the isle, to come from Scotland, let's see, let me back all this up. Scotch has to come from Scotland in order to be called Scotch, and in order to get that designation, it must be aged a minimum of 3 years. That is Scotland's legal definition for whiskey. So this is a minimum of 3 years. I suspect that it is probably right at that point. As I kind of let this open up a little bit, I'm just getting maltiness, and in the back of it, you know, I probably shouldn't have read that, but I am getting a hint of citrus at the very back end of the nose profile. But mostly just malt, a little bit of ethanol. And sorry if you can hear my son crying upstairs. It's just nice and light. Flavor profile. Now, I don't think I'm right, but I almost get a little hint of smoke up front. It moves into a sweet butterscotch caramel middle. I almost get a little bit of like lemon zest after that, and then a little bit of barrel impact. Boy, I don't know if I trust myself on that one. Nose hasn't really changed. The nose is really tamped down. I'm really struggling to find anything. It's not jumping out of the glass. So that time, smoke kind of went away until the finish. I just got all these really nice, buttery, creamy, sweet flavors, rich caramel up front. Then it moved into just the slightest, super low impact peat smoke. A little bit of citrus zest at the end, definitely more towards a lemon than an orange or something like that. A little bit of barrel impact, black pepper kind of finish on there. All very nice, light flavors. Nothing's really hitting you over the head. I would have to agree with the introductory idea. Like, there's a little bit of everything in here. So if you want to go explore all the different regions of Scotland, you can find them in this bottle. You get the butterscotches. You get that citrusy, so the Highlands, the space, so the butterscotch, typically Speyside, these citrusy Highlands, along with a lot of the sweeter characteristics, a little bit of smoke flavor in there, you know, the Islas and whatever. If you want just a good little dash of every one of those notes, definitely check this bottle out. Now, I'm saying peat smoke is in there. I hope I'm not lying to you. I get that out of here, but I'm not sure that they actually have it. I don't know if they actually peat this whiskey or not, and I'm hoping that it is not just some of that Talisker that's sitting on my palate coming through. The nose fuses rich floral notes with vibrantly grated nutmeg and ginger. I would give them the ginger part of that. And just when you think you've caught everything, a sharp hint of tangerine takes you unaware. But as ever, the true character of a fine single malt only comes through on the palate. Here, an invigorating burst gives you a delicate flowering of rose and honeysuckle. It's rather like stumbling upon most fragrant, sun-drenched cottage garden. That's the beauty of Lowland Scotch, gentle days and gentle scenery, ideally spent with a lovely dram in hand and nothing to contemplate but the view. I'm not going to disagree with any of that. If you search hard, you can probably find some of those notes in there. It's definitely an easy sipper. And now going back to the nose, I mean, that was pure butterscotch. There was no butterscotch with a little bit of floral on the end of it. See, this is what happens. You start reading stuff and it starts to impact what you think you're getting. This is why I don't research stuff and I try not to read things ahead of time, because the power of suggestion is real. Yeah, even on that last sip, I'm still getting just a hint of peat smoke in there. So I'm going to go ahead and say it. There's peat smoke in this. I could be completely wrong, but I feel like I'm getting it out of there. And like I said, this was a brand new clean glass. So if you are so lucky as to have a Total Wines in your area, see if you can pick up this McClelland's McClelland's Lowland. Definitely check out their other ones, their Spacehead, their Highland, their Isla as well. Good, cheap whiskeys, good representations of all the different regions without breaking the bank. Highly recommend it. This Lowland seems to be exceptional. I'm really a fan of this. $17.99, Total Wines, Milwaukee, Wisconsin. Drop in the comments down below if you have anything else to add to that or if you have anything to say about that. Also, drop in the comments down below what you can find a bottle of McClelland's Lowland for in your area. As I said, all the other representations, the Highlands, the Isla here in Wyoming, you know, in the mid to upper 20s. So that's a little bit of a bummer. But yeah. Anyways, if you haven't already, think about subscribing to the channel, hitting that notification bell. Please smash that like button when you get a chance. And as always, have yourselves a great day, and we will catch you in the next video. Thanks for watching.